How to motorize an inflatable canoe. With this tutorial, you'll assemble a motorized kayak that's even better than my current one, which, let's be honest, isn't bad at all. Thanks to the experience I've gained and the mistakes I've made, I can guide you toward an optimal result. Here's what you need to motorize an inflatable kayak. The measurements provided below are approximate and can be adjusted. Use what you have and what fits best with your kayak. An aluminum plate about 1 meter by 1 meter, 2 millimeters thick, a square aluminum tube, 1.2 meters long, about 5 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters, 3 millimeters thick, an aluminum rod 2 meters long, or 2 1-meter rods, about 5 to 6 millimeters in diameter, an aluminum tube approximately 50 centimeters long, 3.5 centimeters in diameter, 3 D-rings, 3 threaded steel U-bolts, 3 straps with buckles, a piece of cardboard, epoxy glue, PVC glue, masking tape, painter's tape, a sufficient amount of steel washers, nuts, and bolts, an inflatable canoe, a side stabilizer, an electric outboard motor, a lithium battery, required tools, a drill, a multifunction oscillating tool, wrenches, socket wrenches, screwdrivers, and a hammer, a manual thread tap, a pair of scissors, a marker, 2 sawhorses, 2 clamps. Optional, a jigsaw. Step 1. Inflate the kayak and place it on the sawhorses. Step 2. Fold and cut the cardboard so it can be inserted under the stern cover, occupying as much space as possible while allowing the outer edge to stick out at least 7 centimeters beyond the cover. Step 3. After adjusting for imperfections and asymmetry, place the cardboard on the aluminum plate and trace the outline with the marker. Step 4. Cut the aluminum plate following the traced outline. Step 5. Cover the edge of the aluminum shape with masking tape to protect the kayak's PVC and insert it under the cover. It should occupy most of the space without moving sideways. If needed, adjust the cut and retry until the fit is satisfactory. Step 6. Make a lengthwise cut along the aluminum rod, about 5 millimeters in diameter. Note, this and the next step must be done fairly quickly before the epoxy glue hardens. If you're not confident with these steps, use a slow curing epoxy. There are many options available on the market. Step 7. Remove the tape from the aluminum shape. Apply epoxy glue along the entire perimeter of the shape. Step 8. Using the slit, fit the rod around the edge of the aluminum shape, expanding the cut with a screwdriver if needed, using a hammer, and making perpendicular cuts in the rod to ease it around curved sections. Step 9. Let the glue cure. Curing times vary and are listed on the product package. File and smooth any sharp edges. This prevents the shaped aluminum plate from damaging the kayak's PVC when inserted under the stern cover. Step 10. Lay the batten onto the plate so that the side opposite the motor extends at least 8 centimeters from the hull. Clamp it in place. Note, insert the shaped plate before fully inflating the kayak, then bring it to working pressure afterward. Step 11. Place the motor on the crossbeam. There will be nothing for the clamp screws to grip yet, so just hold it by hand. Position the motor as close to the hull as possible, making sure that when the propeller rotates toward the canoe, it doesn't touch it. Mark the crossbeam outside the motor's clamp area, then remove the motor. Step 12. After removing the plate from the hull, cut the crossbeam a couple of centimeters beyond the mark you made. Step 13. Drill 2 holes through the crossbeam and into the underlying plate. The holes should be 1 millimeter smaller than the bolt threads. Step 14. Separate the crossbeam from the plate and flip it over. Place the previously cut off piece so that its end aligns with the opposite end of the shaped plate. Clamp them together. Step 15. Insert the 3.5 centimeter diameter tube into the cut piece. If necessary, force and reshape it with a hammer to flatten it slightly. Step 16. Drill through the crossbeam, the cut piece, and the inserted tube. Widen the outer holes so the bolt heads can be inserted. Step 17. Bolt the 3 parts together, tighten the nut, and secure it with a drop of epoxy glue. Step 18. Widen the first 2 holes on the crossbeam to allow the bolts to pass through. Only on the crossbeam, not on the shape plate. Step 19. Tap threads into the holes in the shape plate. Step 20. Slide the side stabilizer onto the tube and push it in until the tube reaches the crossbeam. Inflate the stabilizer and mark the tube at the outermost eyelet, furthest from the canoe. Deflate and remove the stabilizer. Step 21. Place the threaded U-bolts along the crossbeam as shown in the video, marking the contact points with the marker on both sides opposite the motor and only on the stern side of the motor side. Drill 6 through holes in the crossbeam and secure the U-bolts with nuts. Lock them in place with a drop of epoxy glue. Step 22. Cut the round tube at the mark, leaving a margin of a couple of centimeters. Step 23. Insert the base into the kayak and screw on the crossbeam. Thread the straps through the U-bolts, loop them back onto themselves, leaving some slack, and gently pull them toward the hull. Mark the hull with the marker at each contact point. Step 24. Remove the plate and crossbeam from the canoe. Clean a generous area around the marks on the hull using a rough cloth dampened with alcohol or a non-greasy cleaner. Let the cleaner evaporate and deflate the canoe. Step 25. Apply PVC glue to the marked areas on the hull and the PVC bottom of the D-rings. Allow the glue to act for the time indicated on the package, usually about 30 minutes. Step 26. Stick the D-rings onto the hull, making sure no air bubbles are trapped between the D-rings PVC and the kayak's PVC. Use a plastic scraper if needed to maximize adhesion. Step 27. Let it cure for 24 to 48 hours, as probably specified on the glue package. If not specified, do it anyway. The glue must cure completely because these rings will transfer the motor's thrust force to the canoe. It's essential that they are firmly bonded. Step 28. Inflate the kayak slightly below working pressure. Insert the base under the stern cover, to full pressure. Screw the crossbeam onto the base, strap the crossbeam to the D-rings, mount the stabilizer. Launch the canoe into the water. Load everything you need. See the video titled, "What Not to Forget When Kayaking," available by subscribing to this channel. Mount the motor, connect it to the battery, and set off for an amazing trip. Happy sailing, and until next time.